She was beautiful, prayerful, and married to a loving man. But every time she gave birth, the child died. Doctors had no answers. Prophets saw a cause. But the truth was darker than anyone imagined. Watch this story about Amaka, the pastor's wife, whose children died whenever she gave birth. In a serene town in Ogun State, far from the noise of Lagos and the chaos of city life, lived a woman named Amaka, beautiful, respectful, calm, and by all appearances, deeply blessed. She was married to a kind man, Pastor Samuel, a humble and God-fearing minister who adored her with all his heart. Their union was the envy of the town, not because they were flashy or rich, but because of the peace and love that radiated from their home. But behind the picture-perfect life was a haunting sorrow. Amaka had been pregnant 5 times, and every single time she lost the baby. Once at 8 months, once during delivery. Another came out stillborn, another suffocated in the womb. The last one, the baby let out a weak cry and died in her arms before the nurses could even wrap him. Each death left her emptier than the last. The villagers whispered. Some said she was cursed. Others blamed village witches. Some even suggested that her husband was impotent and was using spiritual means to cover up his shame. But Pastor Samuel never gave up on her. God's time is the best, he will say. We will carry our child and dedicate him at the altar, I believe. Yet, deep inside Amaka's heart, she carried a secret, one that could shatter everything. After her 5th child died, Amaka stopped going to church regularly. She claimed she needed time to heal, but truthfully, she was afraid. At night, she began to see things. Children, not the living kind, but strange children, bloody, angry, cold. They would stand at the foot of her bed, sometimes 1, sometimes 3. One would speak with a voice that chilled her bones. You killed us first, now you want to replace us. She would wake up screaming. Samuel would hold her, praying, but it never stopped. She saw them every night, every time she got pregnant, and they always came until the child died. Desperate, Amaka convinced her husband to allow her visit a prophet in Ibadan. Not just any prophet, but Prophet Duro Jaye, a man known for revealing deep secrets. The day they arrived, the old man did not waste time. He stared at Amaka for long, then turned to Samuel. Man of God, he said, your wife is not who you think she is. There is blood following her, blood crying for justice. Samuel frowned. What do you mean? The prophet then turned to Amaka and said, Madam, do you want to live? Do you want to ever carry a child again? Then speak the truth. Amaka burst into tears. Then she confessed. Before Amaka became a pastor's wife, she had lived another life. Not in Ogun, but in Port Harcourt, where she worked as a high-class escort for years. Not just regular runs, real coded prostitution, hotel to hotel, party to party, foreign clients, politicians, married men. She was among the best. And during that time, she had terminated at least 9 pregnancies. Sometimes she didn't even know who the father was. There was even a time that she aborted twins because the man said he couldn't be caught with scandal. She bled for days, nearly died, but she survived. Years later, she left the lifestyle. She moved to Lagos, joined the church, repented, and became a new person. That was where she met Pastor Samuel. The prophet said, the spirit of those unborn children are demanding justice. You killed them when they wanted to leave. Now they won't let others take their place. Samuel was frozen. The woman he prayed with was once an agent of death. When they returned to Ogun, everything changed. Samuel didn't speak to her for days. He couldn't even look her in the eye. "How could you keep this from me?" he finally asked. Amaka broke down. "I didn't want to lose you. I thought if I prayed hard enough, God would forget. I thought I was free." Samuel walked out that night and didn't return home. By the next Sunday, the church elders had heard. Gossip spread. Women in the congregation stopped greeting her. Some members stopped attending church. She had become a ghost in her own home. Her pastor finally caught up. One night, after days of fasting, Amaka had another dream. But this time only one child came. A girl. Her eyes filled with pain. She held a doll and said, "You never even gave me a name." Amaka knelt before the ghost. "I'm sorry, I didn't know. I was scared. I was young, I didn't understand." The girl turned to leave. But before she vanished, she whispered, "The others still hate you. But maybe one day if you name us, we will forgive." Amaka woke up sobbing. That week she wrote the names of every child she remembered aborting. 9 names. Some she invented because she didn't know the gender. She wrote prayers beside each names and buried the list under a tree behind their house. She fasted for 40 days. She confessed to the church and she begged for forgiveness, not from man, but from heaven. A year passed, but Samuel didn't divorce her. Despite the betrayal, he chose mercy. Then one Sunday morning, Amaka fainted during choir practice. The hospital test confirmed that she was pregnant again, for the 6th time. Fear gripped them both. She wanted to rejoice, but her heart trembled. She began to ask herself, would the ghost children return? Would they take this one too? But months passed. She had no dream. The baby grew. By 8 months, Samuel began preaching about mercy and the God who restores. People slowly returned to church. The elders forgave her. Hope returned. Then the delivery day came. That Tuesday morning, Amaka was rushed to the hospital. She screamed. The labor was long, but after hours of pushing, a cry filled the room. A boy, healthy, loud, and beautiful. Finally, after all the pain, they had a child. But as the nurse laid the baby on Amaka's chest, her body went still, and she whispered with her final breath, "Thank you for letting me birth one of them again." Then she died. Just like that, gone. The price had been paid. Every year, Pastor Samuel with his son lights 9 candles for the children who never lived, and for the woman who gave her life to make peace with the ones she once rejected. No matter how far you have gone, the past always leaves footprints. Mercy is real. Forgiveness is possible. But some choices carry eternal echoes. Repentance can bring healing, but sometimes it comes with a heavy price. Please like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.